Saya kemarin bertemu dengan anak muda, mereka bisa wayang, dalang, singing with the Japanese languages. Saya bilang, jangan pernah bergeser. You have to be proud because orang di dunia ini akan mencari kamu.
You don't have to become like Taylor Swift or like, American music. You don't have to.
Even my cucu semua mau lagi, I want to be like Jenny, gitu ya. Everyone like want to be like before. Sis being in Jenny now, ada waktu yang sangat panjang untuk mereka mempersiapkan untuk being successful.
People don't see what happens before.
Yeah, this is a very good quote, Debbie. In all the career, if we want to achieve something like we are on the highest mountain, we cannot jumping to the other mountain. We have to go down. We have to another climb. To the mountains.
Krisdayanti, thank you so much for sitting with me today and sharing all about your life and your journey.
Most welcome, Deborah. Welcome to my humble house. Thank you for visiting Jakarta.
Thank you for having me.
Terima kasih. Tadi saya udah siapkan kue-kue.
Yes.
Kue-kue kampung. Hope you like it.
Thank you. And I know you're so busy, your schedule.
Thank you.
Traveling a lot. So for squeezing us in, thank you. And you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
And your nails are so beautiful, and your baju, and your outfit, everything.
I'm wearing batik.
Oh yeah? Indonesian designer?
Indonesian designer. It's called batik Sogan. Sogan means everything batik, and the fabrics is a bit...
It's quite different, special, yeah? So you were 17 years old when you won Asia Bagus.
16, actually.
16, oh my goodness. When you won Asia Bagus. So I remember I was very small. I remember watching Asia Bagus, and it was like, I love the show. It's such an amazing talent show. They should bring it back. But do you remember that moment when you won the show?
I remember just like time flies, just like yesterday, gitu kan. Jadi saya berpikir the trophy I still put on my rack.
Oh, wow.
Also, same as the memories, how the judges comment. Remember that was my first time I got a passport. Tentu ini menjadi satu kebanggaan yang luar biasa because Malaysia is also I still remember who's the contestant from Malaysia juga, Ami Mastura.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I still remember and everyone still starting on the new age. So and that was the new and the first, I think, the first competition in the national channel television. So only TVRI dulu, cuma ada TVRI, Televisi Republik Indonesia. And I still remember how we are queuing for the test. And saya rasa itu menjadi satu hal yang istimewa karena young and they have a very good motivation. Yeah. And can you imagine the first competition and we have to go outside from Indonesia, bring our
represent your country,
represent the countries, the cultures. Never imagine that I won for the weekly, monthly,
and then the big
champion. And then after 7 years, they also like doing the grand champion in NHK Japan. And I remember the judges, it's Dato' Sheila Majid. Yeah, jadi Kak Sheila is judging, and ini menjadi satu starting untuk semua anak-anak Indonesia untuk tidak takut untuk berkompetisi because it's a first time, the biggest and represent of from the country, and then the prize is recording with a Japan label. Dan saat itu pun saya because I'm starting with the Gadis Sampul also. I'm doing a model like a Gadis Sampul also, and so many people asking me to do singing and sinetron, but I can't do it because the contract with Japan.
So was it always your dream to be a singer from the time you were kecil?
Not really, because I know that I was born to sing, but never realized that I'm facing with all the very good opportunity since I was young. So My papa, it's a singer of keroncong. Keroncong is traditional music. Dan dari situ saya melihat bahwa kesempatan-kesempatan yang datang untuk kami berkompetisi itu tentunya harus dilakukan sebaik mungkin dengan penuh tanggung jawab, all the responsibility of course. Dan kalau saya flashback, mungkin I'm the one who really lucky with all the
opportunities,
cabaran dan lain-lain, because tidak banyak station TV saat itu dan semuanya benar-benar kompetisi, not like today's like all the competition like easy, every station TV use.
And now you have YouTube, internet, you can
explore and everything.
So at one point you were one of Indonesia's most photographed women, and
thank you.
And now it's been over 3 decades that you've been so.
Well, you mentioned
but so young, but so young.
I'm coming at the 50 era. My daughter said, "Oh, mom, you're a half century." She said,
half centurion.
Half century.
But when you think of your whole career, is there like a moment, one moment where you felt I made it? Like this is it. Like this is my most proud moment.
Ada di era ketika on the 2000. Itu ada era all the soloists come really lead to all music industry and era, like Dato' Siti Nurhaliza pun ketika dia masuk ke Indonesia di era tahun 2000 melesat begitu luar biasa, because the market of Indonesian music is very huge. Jadi banyak orang yang berbondong-bondong datang ke Indonesia untuk mempromosikan musik-musik mereka. Tapi kami tidak merasa dicuri karena semua punya karakter. They have own character, dan mereka bisa bertanggung jawab dengan memberikan moralnya dengan membuat sebuah, like they do a big concert and often. Jadi konser dimanapun selalu ramai, selalu banyak apresiatif dari audiens. Jadi era di tahun 2000-an itu ketika semua penyanyi solo memiliki kesempatan untuk bisa perform.
You said you felt like an artist who'd lived many lives in one life. That's a quote you said before.
Is that?
Yeah.
Di mana kopinya?
The internet. But what are the values over all these years, your career, everything you've done? Are there some values that, like, paling penting, your being resilient, or your ambition, boundaries that you follow?
Ya, artinya kita merasa bahwa semua totalitas dalam pekerjaan kita, we all do with all the dedication, it must be strong, and I know that I make a legacy or being a mirroring for
other generation. Yeah.
Saya nggak pernah merasa bahwa apa yang saya lakukan harus menjadi trademark atau orang harus mengikuti, tapi lebih kepada the only one that you can reach your goals is a discipline, determined with do the best for your career. Because buat saya, kita tinggal di Indonesia masih belum seperti di luar sana ketika manajemen artis bisa bekerja dengan luas. Artinya, like if they are signing contract with the Warner Music Indonesia, not the worldwide. Yeah. So kita harus melakukan the best setiap kali dalam pekerjaan kamu supaya orang melihat the best that you can achieve for the last time, gitu. And then itu akan memberikan satu harapan yang baik untuk the next generation. Gitu.
Do you have a favorite Krisdayanti song?
Okay.
Mine is Menghitung Hari.
Yeah, I just want to say.
Although I can't sing it, but it's very popular in Malaysia.
Yeah. You know, since Hatikus Endang, Ibu Hatikus Endang, since Ibu almarhum sama mamanya Denada tuh Mbak? Mamanya Denada? Yeah. Nah, since all the divas from the other generation, Ibu Emilia Contessa, like mereka di Malaysia itu seperti ada kekosongan waktu, kekosongan waktu sehingga hampir tidak ada lagi yang datang masuk ke industri di Malaysia. And then after the day coming, the years coming on 1998, I released the Menghitung Hari. And then I know my first producer from Malaysia is Mr. Tony Fernandez now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And Mr. Eurasia.
Yeah, Mr. Eurasia. And Bapak Nasir Abdul Kasim.
Oh, yeah.
The both gentlemen is very kind of me. They bring me come to Malaysia from zero. Yeah. And then after 1 month promotion, and I received the platinum. Yeah, because
so that was the first song in Malaysia.
First song in Malaysia.
Oh.
And then after the era, there's no one promoting in Malaysia. Of course, that's a really good impact for my career to starting into the Malaysia.
And any other songs that you write? Do you write your lyrics yourself? Any of them or not?
Once of like Kuta Sanggup, and then the last I worked with Erwin Gutawa also. 1 or 2 songs that I wrote. Yeah.
So you said that fame came early, but peace took much longer. Did you struggle with the fame? Was it difficult for you?
Not difficult, but you know, in the position of the career is not fragile if we are do commitment to work hard and also give appreciate to others. Like siapapun yang ada di atas on the stage itu bukan hanya Krisdayanti as a performer, tapi orang-orang di belakang. Like
the whole team.
The whole team yang membangun, yang membantu saya. Walaupun saya tidak memiliki tim creator untuk setiap penampilan saya, tapi syukur alhamdulillah karena saya bekerja cukup lama on the 3 decades, so I learn a lot when I'm singing, when I'm learning by doing. I met a lot of people, and I'm not hesitant to asking what is the key of the success of you, and then I adapt. That makes sense. Ketika kita malu untuk bertanya, there will be
because you can learn from everyone.
Yes,
And your mother used to be your manager when you first started out.
My first manager, and I
was it good or bad?
You know, I never realized, you know, like how much money that I got for
you
the
don't
new.
know how much
I don't
you're
know.
making.
I just.
Tapi you boleh spend or can you spend it or no?
750.000 untuk tahun itu is a very big for my agent. Dan saya hanya ingat saya bisa beli baju and bisa beli chocolate on the maybe 10 years old with my mom until Asia Bagus time.
Until Asia Bagus. Okay.
My niece.
And then after that, you learned from your mother's way of managing, and then your other managers, you learned what works, what doesn't work, or what relationship.
Once that I learned about my mom until now, got the stroke after 15 years. She's really worked hard, very active to the community, very helpful, and always asking what she can help to others. My mom from the kampung, like we are migrant to the Jakarta, tentu dengan kemampuan yang sangat terbatas, tapi dia selalu mengingatkan kita bahwa kita tidak boleh comparing to others, like we are starting from the beginning. That's why I'm always following all the competition, and I won the prize, and I get the money 100,000, 200,000. That's I'm happy. Then I can buy and spend anything on my childhood with my own money. So, saya banyak belajar dari ibu saya.
So when you had children, how did you protect your children from the industry, from the public? Like you keep them away, and then how did you teach them? Because then they see their mama is like, wow, so famous, so successful.
Thank you, Gabby. I have the two level, not level or the generation. I have I got second marriage, and then I have the youngest. The youngest, it's 13 and 12 years old, and the different era about the older, and the young era, that they are adopt everything from the internet. Sometimes like they are watching maybe their mommy, somebody with a narration maybe is not too good. They observe, and when we have a pillow talk, we are talking and discuss about how the part of the part of the risk of the artist is now being adopted by them. See, like but the young the eldest, my Aurel and Azriel, like they know already about the challenging being a son and daughter of
the famous mommy. Famous mommy.
Sometimes.
So when they go out for makan with you, they're like, ambil gambar.
But they're like they're going to used to it.
Yeah, they got used to it.
Sometimes like I'm thanks to God that all my kids are sweet. They're acceptable to others.
Yeah. And now you're a grandmother. Gemi. Is it Gemi? Namanya Gemi.
So because I'm mommy, grandmother, mommy, like wife of Mas Anang kan calling by like Bunda, so Genda, so like that. So Gemi, and my grandchild, they like especially to Amina, she love to being adopted as a singer gitu, gitu. Gemi jelek, Gemi harus make up dulu being artist. We're like sweet, like they're going, they lovely.
So now with your career and work and travel, and then sometimes you just want to spend time with your grandchildren, with your chuchu. How do you balance? Do you feel
like I used to be like normally grandmother, like say like playing, teaching them to be polite, sometimes singing together, and being a grandma now, it's come easier because of YouTube. Like we can discuss everything, like games, music, and the toddler now, they all love makeup.
Oh yeah.
See, so like sometimes we spend together on the mirroring, applying makeup. Sometimes like their growth before like they're old, but sometimes like, but it's okay. Daripada mereka curious, tanya-tanya hal yang nggak perlu lewat orang lain atau they're reading, lebih baik it's better that we are explaining something. Yeah,
because they will see it on the internet.
Yeah.
You don't explain.
Yes. Even the parental lock they can open. Yeah.
They're very smart.
Yeah.
So you're such a successful star in the industry in Indonesia and the region.
It's been a
long journey.
I'm thankful about that, because how we are maintained.
Because it's not easy. You have some stars after 5 years, then jatuh kan? But to sustain 3 decades like that.
Yeah, that's why we have to. This is a very good quote, Debbie. In all the career, if we want to achieve something, like we are in the age, like kita, we are on the highest mountain. We cannot jumping to the other mountain. We have to go down. We have to learn. We have to another climb, to the mountains. So kita nggak boleh rude, sombong. Buat saya, all the key of success is how we appreciate others. Gitu. Kita tanya hal-hal yang sejatinya mudah untuk kita discuss, itu adalah kita belajar dari banyak.
Gitu. And but you did something very different. So successful singer, and then you said, now successful singer, maybe saya akan coba politics.
Politics.
So you went into politics. You were House of Representatives 2019 until 2024.
Yes, 24. Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
Like people nowadays, when I look at politics, I think, oh my goodness, very susah. You know, but why did you?
I also asking to Kak Sheila Majid, because Sheila Majid is very sharp to the government also. Like ini, Kak, why you not going to the politics? Sudah teruk lah, Chris, nggak ada pusing lagi with politics. Now sometimes like with politics, it's how we serve people. Like in my PDI Perjuangan is the rule and the strongest parties in Indonesia. Even they are now doing outside of the government.
Okay.
Yeah, but I learned a lot in politics, how we know about the tanggung jawab manusia dalam memiliki hak dan kewajibannya lewat the politics. Dan saya rasa dengan politik, karena mungkin saya dari orang kampung, saya dari orang kecil, saya biasa melayani orang lain, dan ketika saya mendapatkan apresiasi dari banyak orang, ketika orang harus membayar atau bertemu dengan Krisdayanti dengan cara yang susah, with the politics, I serve them. Saya ketuk pintu rumah mereka, dan mereka like stare on me. Saya bernyanyi bersama, saya bisa membagikan sesuatu yang memang hak mereka. Karena sometimes like we are build the place to them to learning for the community. Terima kasih Bu, terima kasih. No, that's not my money. That's the uang negara yang memang harus disalurkan. Tapi selama ini mungkin belum ada representatif untuk bisa menyalurkan. Sehingga saya bersyukur dengan like we are working for the region. Jadi kita merepresentasikan satu daerah kita untuk melayani warga di sekitar. Dan saya rasa walaupun sekarang I'm sudah tidak running for the parliament, I'm still dedicate myself to still for the party.
But you felt that you needed to join the government to be in politics to do good for the rakyat, for the community.
Yes, of course.
But you can do it now, as even if you're not.
Even I'm not, I'm still like today. Like today is hari transportasi umum. Tapi banyak perempuan di dimanapun di dunia ini yang merasa they are insecure inside of the public place, transportation. Like saya menyuarakan hal bagaimana negara bisa, kan banyak driver perempuan yang juga bisa bisa diajak bekerja, dan mereka juga tidak ketakutan untuk punya tempat space khusus untuk perempuan. So memang saya concern to the health and the women and children.
You're probably here because you're curious about Krisdayanti, and that's the same curiosity I had when I started Debonair, to have honest conversations about how we live, what we value, and the choices that shape us. In season 1, we spoke to inspiring Malaysians, and it became clear that these stories weren't just local. They were real, relatable, and worth sharing far beyond our borders. So now we're in Jakarta, exploring voices from around the region, starting with Indonesia. This podcast keeps on teaching through our guests. Thank you for subscribing and for being here as we learn from each other.
So what's now in 2025, what do you think are the big issues facing women in Indonesia?
Ya, kalau memang one of the sustainable development goals, salah satunya adalah bagaimana perempuan mendapatkan kesempatan untuk bisa memiliki akses pendidikan yang lebih baik. Anak-anak saya juga selalu saya ajarkan, biasakan bersyukur, tidak membandingkan apa yang kita punya dengan orang lain, karena orang di luar sana masih ada yang banyak kesulitan mendapatkan akses minum bersih, air bersih, sanitasi yang bersih, pendidikan yang baik. dengan begitu mereka bisa bersyukur dan tidak compare to others. Jadi di tahun 2025 ini tentunya isu stunting masih ada di negara kita dan kita juga tentunya terus memonitoring pemerintah dengan mereka memberikan janji makan bergizi, makan bergizi gratis karena masih banyak di luar sana anak-anak kita yang ada yang belum mendapatkan akses yang merata dan bahkan juga ada yang mungkin masih belum terpenuhi contain to the healthy dan gizinya. Jadi tentunya semoga dengan kami terus memberikan suara speak up. We are speak up so the government also listen. They know like kita harus selalu melakukan check and balance tentunya.
Okay, that's good. And so Chris Dayanti as a singer, everyone loves her. But when Chris Dayanti became a politician, is it the same?
Nah, people now seeing me as ada dua personality. Yeah. Tapi sometimes juga I love you but I don't like your party. I love you because I don't like your
so you boleh terima.
Saya terima, tapi saya rasa all the people not judging me as a person. Yeah. So like saya bukan juga orang yang mau bermain aman untuk tidak berani speak up to the government kalau memang tidak baik. Gitu.
But was it difficult because you're in the spotlight, but now it's like different. The spotlight is a bit different. Did it take you time to adjust, or it's
not
okay?
not really. Like because like I'm facing to the doorstep.
Right.
Like they are asking me about the politics and everything. They know that I'm speak up as a woman, as a mother. So saya mewakili banyak merepresentasikan banyak perempuan di luar sana. Kalau memang misalkan tentang bagaimana we access to the water or access to the kemarin ada about the gas, ibu-ibu sulit untuk mendapatkan sembako dan lain-lain. Saya pasti akan suara.
What was the hardest
Hardest
part of being a politician?
Being wisdom and commitment to help others. Dan orang selalu pandang bahwa politik is dirty.
Yes.
Ya, politik selalu kotor. Kita harus terus sampaikan bahwa perempuan harus punya akses to the politik karena dengan semakin banyak legislator perempuan, so we can do the policy perspective by gender.
Yeah. So people, you think young girls when they say, "Oh, if Chris Dayanti can masuk politics, then I can join politics."
Of course. And now I'm happy because all the members politic now is even not full of the 30% of the quota, tapi tetap mereka ada young politician, like they are like sekarang Gen Z, anak-anak muda, mereka harus diletakkan setara, like because mereka mengisi separuh penduduk dunia,
And I like because you say your life is a journey of learning. Even in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you can always learn. 50s, maybe 50s. It's okay. I turned 40 this year.
Oh my God, you're so young, baby.
But at every stage in your life, you've always challenged yourself. I'm going to do something new, learn something new. Most women, you think that most people, they're too afraid to join politics, right? But then even after that, you decided to go back to university.
Yes.
And what did you study? Your master's?
Thank you. It's
it's hard. Like most people go back to university at 50. Are you crazy? Like what's wrong with you? You're not happy?
Thank you for asking. Gabby, that's one of the back to your question on the earlier question about bahwa saya kehilangan momen saya belajar ketika saya muda. Karena I'm too enjoying work. I'm too happy shopping with my own money.
Who don't want university?
Kan waktu. No, because like sinetron.
Yeah.
Like all the drama movie. We spend 18 hours a
day.
Shooting.
Wow.
Habis waktu di situ. Jadi memang kita hilang kesempatan untuk bisa study. And knowledge is a weapon. Jadi saya pikir kalau saya berhenti, saya akan tumpul itu apa ya? Enggak, ya. Akan kalau saya tidak olah dengan membaca dan lain-lain. And ada satu penawaran bahwa with the Indonesian Open University, ini adalah sekolah online yang memudahkan saya. Saya ikut 6 mata kuliah dan saya ambil satu subjek yang sangat penting, Fakultas Hukum Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik, dan ini menjadi satu one of the
accomplishments for you.
Achievement for me.
Do you enjoy it? Is it fun? You have to write, study a lot, read a lot, write a lot.
Studying and reading, and mostly my husband and my children, they are all a support.
Oh, that's good. That's the most important.
That's the most important. Yeah.
And
my daughter said, so now you can imagine how hard us to being examination.
So is it finished or are you still ongoing? Still ongoing. So your graduation?
Yeah, I'm facing the graduation still.
Okay. And what, from Parliament, from a career on the stage to Parliament to university, it's the same Krisdayanti. It's not a different personality.
I'm never changed. Yeah, I'm never changed because saya sudah menjadi orang yang mungkin dielu-elukan di atas on the stage, like mereka terbiasa memberikan saya jemputan yang istimewa, semuanya serba eksklusif. So menjadi diri sendiri itu menjadi satu hal yang nyata. Gak pernah menjadi orang lain, so I always represent myself.
Yeah. And so now for young singers, you have a lot of young singers today.
Yeah, and they're all good.
But they don't need, you don't need labels. You have YouTube, you have TikTok, internet. You can just put your song on the internet. What's your advice? What's your advice to them?
You mean they're doing covering or the one with
for their own career to build? How should they build their career? What should they focus on?
Karena sekarang akses untuk bisa mempromosikan mereka jauh lebih mudah. Everyone uses TikTok, social media. So they have to be have own or specific talent. Like, dan mereka harus bangga. They have to be proud. Like saya kemarin bertemu dengan anak muda, mereka bisa wayang. They do also dalang. They do also singing with the Javanese languages. Dan saya bilang jangan pernah bergeser. You have to be proud because orang di dunia ini akan mencari kamu. Because like history, culture seems like eternal. Mereka akan mencari sesuatu yang spesifik.
You don't have to become like Taylor Swift or like American music. You don't have to.
Of course. Yeah. But like a baby, even my cucu semua mau I want to be like Jennie, gitu ya. Everyone like want to be like a superstar, like a Korean pop apa segala. Boleh. Mereka boleh mengadapt bagaimana. But Jennie, before she's being in Jennie now, ada waktu yang sangat panjang untuk mereka mempersiapkan untuk being successful.
People don't see what happens before.
Yeah. Dari mereka bangun pagi, mereka disiplin, mereka even bloody to achieve the goals. Mereka harus punya kedisiplinan yang luar biasa dan rata-rata semua dari orang-orang yang sangat humble, sederhana. With the mom, nomaden, being moved to the country, semuanya.
And the young generation, you think they have the discipline? They can work hard to reach their goal.
Yeah, because we are now in the era everything you can.
It's so easy to
do. Yeah, kan. Even like money can buy success. Yeah, seperti itu. Yeah. You can find easy on the chat.
You can find ways.
Tapi ada satu hal yang mereka harus dapatkan adalah ketika mereka tidak jadi generasi strawberry, mereka tidak fragile, mereka tidak mudah terpapar oleh hal-hal yang netizen sampaikan.
Just keyboard warrior,
yes. And then suddenly, how come you are famous but you are suicide? Ya kan, bunuh diri yang itu memilukan buat saya gitu. Sedihnya luar biasa karena buat saya ketika kita mau berdiskusi dengan orang tua, mau menjadikan momen-momen makan dalam di tengah kumpul, tengah keluarga, kita diskusi akan hal-hal yang sangat-sangat sederhana. Mereka tidak akan fragile karena mereka tahu kehangatan dalam sebuah keluarga itu penting.
But it's scary for parents. How do you make sure your children are not fragile? They boleh tahan kan the stresses in life.
I always asking to all my kids, even the eldest, kalian baik-baik kan? Maksudnya kan banyak orang yang kadang Aurel, even my eldest daughter, body shaming, bullying because the body semuanya yang hal-hal yang seperti itu. Saya rasa mereka cukup tough gitu karena saya selalu communicate. Gak usah worry karena semua orang harus hidup dengan proses yang berbeda-beda gitu. So ketika kamu nanti akan berhasil, itu akan menjadi hal yang luar biasa ketika kamu melewati satu proses gitu.
So in Malaysia, June. Next month, June. We're going to be, you're going to have your concert.
Oh ya terima kasih. Please promote.
But you love Malaysia.
I love
You've been
Malaysia.
coming to Malaysia for years.
I tell you, Debbie, because since I went to the parliament, I can do.
You cannot sing so much, perform your concerts.
Because when I do concert, I have a lot and long preparation. And people were asking, kemana Bu Krisdayanti kok bolos?
Masuk politics tapi hilang.
Nah, because people recognize me and then, kan like you was a spy. Gitu.
So you miss the concerts, performing?
I miss the concert, I miss the preparation, dan alhamdulillah masih kuat keinginan besar, harapan atau demand daripada masyarakat Malaysia untuk melihat saya tampil, dan ini tentu akan saya gunakan sebaik mungkin untuk bisa come back to Malaysia.
Yes, Krisdayanti's return to Malaysia.
Aduh, thank you.
But what do you love about the Malaysian fans?
No, because I know and I still remember how hard I'm starting in Malaysia. I'm carrying my eldest daughter a month, staying in Malaysia.
To penetrate the market there, is it?
Yeah. Since zero, there's no audience until...
a whole stadium. The full Axiata Stadium.
Thank you. Jadi masih bisa terasa di era tahun 1998. That before that sudah lama tidak ada penyanyi Indonesia yang masuk ke dalam industri Malaysia. Dan ketika itu semua mata begitu terbuka bahwa lagu-lagu Indonesia layak diminati kembali di Malaysia. Gitu. Dan ini I think it's a very special comeback to Malaysia.
So if you look back at everything you've done so far in your life, what are there like a few things which you're most proud about? Any part of your life?
Yeah, I'm proud with the process.
That's true.
Saya orang yang sangat menghargai proses. Jadi ketika saya juga I'm watching a concert, I'm talking to my the young Amora. She's starting with the Sony Music. Is also in the music industry. Amora, don't ever sing the result. You have to bawa ke belakang. Ada orang-orang di belakang situ yang membuat ini gimana ya. Now time running, and now we are discuss about Mami itu ininya di sini ya, lightingnya bagus ya ini, tapi soundnya kurang ini.
So she's the part of the production.
The production. Dengan begitu dia akan menjadi jauh lebih mengenal proses ya. Saya rasa itu.
And if you had to I'd ask people like what they want their legacy to be, or how do you want people to remember you? What would that?
Ya, yang kita harapkan dan kita cintai tentu ya, the legacy is like we are losing about Ibu Titiek Puspa. Ibu Titiek Puspa is also one of the greatest musician, apa ya bilang, bukan seniman lagi, legendary music. As a person, she give us the legacy how we are proud to be singing Indonesian song in anywhere, because music is a universal with a different language, but they know the melody, they know because we can search the lyric by Google, they can translate. But if we are proud to be singing by Indonesian music, anytime there will be the legacy. Yang saya harapkan adalah lagu-lagu saya bisa menjadi satu hal yang membanggakan Indonesia juga. Because saya tetap mendorong pemerintah untuk bisa membuat satu tempat concert yang sejatinya tempat concert. Like now we still doing a concert in the stadium for the sport. Like kita belum ada tempat yang benar-benar spesial untuk bisa membuat satu tempat yang saya harapkan bisa menjadi satu tujuan untuk semua seniman-seniman dunia bisa perform di Indonesia. So it's my legacy adalah kerja-kerja saya yang semoga bisa menjadi satu arahan atau juga visionary of the young generation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Good,
but I imagine standing on the stage, no matter how many times you perform, when you stand on the stage and you look out and you see thousands of people in the audience singing your song, it must make you feel like, wow.
You know, when I'm standing in the stage, the most important is how I contact the eye of the audience. Like, if they want to listen, I'm singing, they can play
at home. Why come?
At home, by iTunes and everything. But the most important, how we are
interacting,
menyapa, lalu menyampaikan pesan-pesan yang ingin kita sampaikan dengan lirik yang bahwa kita ini mewakili banyak orang. Ada juga yang berduka dengan lagu-lagu kita, ada juga yang orang ketika mereka mendengar, they listen, mencintai, they love about the lyric, they remind about their family, their children.
You can see, right, when they listen to your song, they can they think about their parents and family.
And I'm happy
so
with
beautiful.
my audience. I have never seen them mereka asik sendiri. Terus mereka selalu memberikan attention if I'm doing performance, and that's a I love the appreciation of the audience to me.
You get energy from that.
Dan saya selalu ingin the audience going home with their interpretation about me. Karena itulah mereka masih melihat apa yang terakhir kita lakukan. So like, please do your best in anything. Please love your career, your works. Do it all capacity of your strength. Dan dengan begitu mereka akan merasakan juga energi yang sama.
Well, thank you for speaking to me. You're such a beautiful soul.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you, sayang.
And if you're in KL, June 22nd.
22nd of June in Axiata Arena. Yuk kita nyanyi sama-sama. Spend night together. Jangan lupa untuk hadir. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So lovely. Thank you.